Greetings, dear viewers. I'm very truly sorry about for that horrible confusion. I was recording earlier this week all the beer video on my beer channel that nobody has actually watched apparently. Um, and I had my um, what do I call it? The recording settings on back because apparently um, the the sorry um, apparently my recording settings were in 4K and the bit rate was something like 65,000 and for 4K, and then the streaming settings were 4K but bitrate 10,000. So it was dropping frames like hell, and I just double check always when you do both streaming and um, recording with the same software. Please, for the love of God, make sure that you have your settings straight before that you scale down from 4K to 1080p, and then get your sorry ass down with um yeah, it was just horrible. I had the 4K 65,000, and the 10,000 is way too little, and my poor little computer cannot handle apparently recording uh 4K 60 FPS bitrate 65,000 and stream 4K 60 FPS bitrate 10,000. And bitrate 10,000 is low for 4K. And even though I have a quite a beefy system, I've got the GPU. I've got a 3080 Ti slammed with a Ryzen 7 3700X, I think, and 32 gigs of RAM. Enough of whining. Okay, let's get this up there. And I have to see what it looks like because I just oh yeah um transform, stretch the screen, not fit the screen. Fuck it, fuck this. Fit the screen. Okay, now it looks good. And let's go. So, terfs meet reality. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Let's have um let's have it. Okay. Okay. Interestingly enough, this is my I think I've gotten enough out, I think. Okay, so let's go to Twitter. This is my I don't, as of right now, I do not have a channel Twitter, Hades Corner Twitter account, because I don't really have the need for it as of right now. But The before we start, it's, before we go, this is a Finnish beer. It's almost well Mikkeler. It's Mikkeler Glass, which is a Danish company, but it's a Finnish German type cellar beer, bottom fermented. Apparently, so the bottle says it's very dark, almost black, pretty much black. It's gluten free. Um, something gluten free at least, and then no additives, and then something else. I can't remember anymore, but it's okay. It's somewhat decent, and I decided to have it now and not something else instead. Is because I bought it from a shop, a grocery store, some weeks ago, and it's a hipster area. But apparently, this beer isn't quite popular because the best before dates. Beers typically have a long best before date, quite long ahead. But this had its best before date in July, so the July of this year. So perhaps that's why it's not really in the best of conditions. But that's somehow sometimes as it goes. Please check my beer channel. There's a link down in the description to my beer channel. Go and subscribe. After this stream, go to my beer channel and like the videos, watch the videos, subscribe, etc. And remember to subscribe to this channel, to my main channel, and also check my Patreon. My faithful patron, Flems, has been my patron from the very beginning, or almost the very beginning. So, thank you, Flems. Give Flems a few, okay? Now, now, the Twitter, the flirt Twitter, okay? Okay, every woman, and I quote, every woman is a terf. This is from Sal Grover. Apparently, from the thumbnail, it's a woman. A female social network app. She's got her own social network app, and that uh, is quite telling for what you're about to read. All every woman is a turf. All that has to happen is the worst man she has ever met self IDs as a woman, goes into a female only space like a change room with her. Um, might sound like quote unquote crazy, but self ID. They, there is so much wrong with this one. I think the self ID law doesn't work the way she thinks it does, typically. Um, and secondly, it's not that it's not that a it's that's not even how it works. It's not just a guy says, okay, I'm a woman, goes in, does horrible things, goes out, okay, I'm a guy. No, that's not how it goes. It's about what typically these self ID so-called um, self ID laws uh, as they call it, are about is just the legal change of gender. It, it's legality. It's a legality, really. It's not a social. It's not that it changes like this, back and forth. No. Of course, a person's gender identity uh, can be fluid and is fluid, as well as a person's sexual orientation can be somewhat fluid during the person's life. Um, so it's not something that a man or a woman uh, just decides overnight. And if the worst man imaginable she a woman can imagine comes in, the man would do it anyway. The man wouldn't bother saying I self-identify as, a man, woman, something, or something different, to get access. If you have some bad intentions, you don't have to first self ID and then go in. They just go in regardless. And there is, let's go. And then there is Phil saying, I'm laughing at everyone who says Emma Watson is rich and out of touch. And then their turf icon, J.K. Rowling, uh, as if she doesn't have a net worth over £1 billion. So, okay, let's go. Yeah, fuck turfs. There we have some turf. I'm not sure if this. I'm not sure where this is from. Twitter is. There's Haven saying Twitter is very slow at taking care of transphobes, yet complies immediately when a trans person is reported for making a joke about a turf. I would like to remind you of the case that I took up from where do I have it? Okay. Mm, I've actually closed the tab, and I'm not going to even start digging it up. I do have it, you know, tagged somewhere, but the Twitter and Meta, is aka Facebook, they take money from transphobic ads, um, and Twitter uh, has failed in 99% out of 100 to they have failed in acting and removing transphobic comments or tweets from Twitter in 99% out of 100. They do nothing, even though they publicly declare it's being a transphobe, etc., is against their terms of service. Yet the next day, they the next day they keep on failing in 99% out of 100 in removing transphobia, etc., off of Twitter, off their platform. We'll see what happens um, when Elon Musk get finally gets uh, in charge of Twitter now that the purchase has been approved. Um, uh-huh. Okay. Let's see. Posey Parker, this UK turf was kicked out of women's places, a women's places UK, a turf organization, for being too far right. Wow, that takes quite a lot. I would assume being kicked out of a turf organization for being too radical. So these are just so, and we all know far right is people are uh, deluded anyway. So, and there's the GOP is anti-American. Uh, hashtag with the handle Sleepy Kitten 99. There's says time to reiterate. J.K. Rowling is a turf. She wrote a big kids book series, which was okay, and then got folks into reading, which is nice. Exactly. Uh, but she has long since shown that she puts her politics over lives. So they're asking not to give them, um, not to give J.K. Rowling any more money. There is a very peculiar. I mean, um, in J.K. Rowling's writings, when it comes to the wizarding world, in it's actually at least I'm not sure about the Fantastic Beasts franchise, but in the Harry Potter franchise, it's canon to have a polyjuice potion. So you can a person who it's a rather meticulous process to make polyjuice potion, and it tastes horrible according to canon, but that makes you that gives you the ability to turn into to someone else, uh, you know, and in the last, I think it was in book 7 when Draco Malfoy had, so I think it was in book 7. It was towards the end of book 6 and at least in book 7 when Draco Malfoy had some business, or it could have been book 6. I'm not completely sure, but at least in book 7 when Draco Malfoy had some dealings with in the room of requirements, where a vanishing cabinet could be found, and the counterpart of that particular vanishing cabinet was in Borgin and Berg's in Diagon Alley. Uh, so Draco Malfoy restored it and then brought the Death Eaters into Hogwarts. But the thing is, in its Harry Potter J.K. Rowling's canon, Harry Potter canon, official canon, that Draco Malfoy brewed some Polyjuice potion and made his friends turn into girls. So, and that wasn't something so it was taking the girl choose, taking the girl choose makes you it's okay to take the girl shoes and turn in and turn for a guy to take the girl shoes and turn into to a girl. That's completely fine in Harry Potter canon, but in real life, it's not. It's something that J.K. Rowling despises very horribly. So, which is it, J.K.? Which is it? Uh, wow. Okay. Then we have okay. There's a Hugo the Pink Cat saying, "Oh yes, Fred Sargent, the literal cop who wasn't actually at Stonewall and was, in his own words, mostly a bystander in whining about trans trans people rewriting queer history and being attacked by pushing TERF ideology." Yeah. Um, okay. Jen says safe spaces should be respected. Indeed. Do we? Twitter has a horrible hypocritical policy, and again talk about a hypocrite. Yeah, indeed. And turf is not a slur. Um, professional transmas change. Okay. By the way, if okay apostrophe, you fucking wanker. Lo- capital B. Apostrophe apostrophe. Uh, yeah. Okay. So we got Amphibia Among Us. Respond. It's crazy people, and this is quite horrible. Uh, this is a Maureen Johnson tweets retweets Aiden Comerford. Third movement in UK. This isn't a certain author. It isn't just a certain author, but it's a widespread movement. Uh, does this look sensible? No. Shame on you, ladies. And what does this hand posture remind you of? Some decades ago, there was an Austrian corporal who liked to use this type of hand posture. But I'm not saying I'm not saying this person is the corporal's follower, but the hand posture looks like it. Um, the Pride Progress flag includes black, brown, pink, pale blue, and white to represent marginalized people of color in the LGBTQ plus community and trans community and those living with HIV or AIDS. So they basically this is the LGB movement. These people represent the LGBT. Sorry, LGB. So basically, it's this one. Yeah. Okay. It's something that these people don't apparently think that marginalized people of color uh, and for example marginalized people of color and those uh, living with HIV and AIDS in the LGBTQ Q plus community are not worthy of human rights, apparently, according to these people. So uh, there is child abuse. There, I'm not. I mean, I've read these. I've read these. It's just so heart wrenching. Just so heart wrenching to read. I mean, if you really want to, you can go carry resist, but it's so horrible. Yeah, and these are, yeah, terfs be like Nueva España. Well, many of them do think so. That Mexico. Okay, terf says Mia Moore. Stop tweeting Mia. Okay, terf says you can't be a lesbian if you put your penis in a woman. That's straight sex. Wait a minute. Do you think I'm top? Turf goes, I. Oh my god, you actually think I'm a top? Yeah, yeah. Kiss guys, kissing boys. These people are just so out of touch. Just a moment. Where do I? Okay. Okay. Uh, Apparently some Turks think that Sigourney Weaver is trans. Um, yeah, says I've had encounters with such people, LG, not BTQ plus. Yeah, and there's a big movement, at least in the UK, which is LGB, not without the T, and the other without the T, Q, and stuff. These people are so out of touch with reality. They just reality and a turf and reality don't really mix well. They don't belong in the same sentence. So it's quite weird. Okay, purple rhymes with orange. Says I was engaged to a lesbian before I started transition. Have to wonder how they would process that arrangement. Oh, that's interesting. Hmm. Louis says they are a part of humanity's weakest links. Yes. If you haven't already, by the way, please leave a like. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Okay, like to check my Patreon after this stream. Okay, and check my beer channel. It's handy to have this. Yeah, I can't. The wire isn't long enough, but I have a stream deck to get the. I have it just. I can just push a button. Let's say. Okay. By the way, today with me in the studio, with is Stefan there and Morran. Uh, in Norwegian, it's Hupsa. Swedish, Morran. In Finnish, it's Mörke. Mörke is here. Mörke, Morran, she's from the. Yes, Morran is a she. It's always referred to as she in the canon, Tove Jansson's canon. It's from the Moomin world, and she's here today because Bertil is resting. He needs to rest every now and then, just a baby. Right. As we have seen, terfs and discussed, terfs are way out of beyond repair, almost beyond repair, out of touch with reality. And it's interesting how apparently a fully functional member of society is capable of being so much out of touch with reality. That many terfs, I would say most terfs are functional, or they function in society. They have jobs. They work, they do their job. Um, Typically, I would assume people with someone with where they don't have too much human interaction, I guess. Um, but I wonder how it's even possible that they can function in modern society. Huh. If you'd excuse me for a moment. Okay, I thought I'd have a small leffe. Is typically 33 cc or third of 330 milliliters, but this is a small one. It's 250 milliliters or 25 centiliters. It's not that hard, you Americans. Just take a zero off or zero on. It's not that difficult. This is a Belgian beer, the Belgian Abbey beer. Bière belge d'abbaye, Belgisch abdijbier. It's very good. It's dark. It's caramelish. It's a bit sweet maybe, and it's very full in flavor. Anyway, do you have any ideas, thoughts on this topic? I will be talking about this beer on my beer channel at some point. I don't know when, but at some point. I don't understand how they can think that Sigourney Weaver is trans. I just don't get it. Okay, and this is my Patreon. It's starting with €3 or equivalent in your own currency. Available currencies are euro, US dollar, US, Canadian, Aussie, and Kiwi dollars, UK pound, Swedish, Norwegian, and probably Danish kroner or kroner. The equivalents in the €3 or the equivalents in these mentioned currencies. And on the 28th, which is next week, Wednesday, I highly recommend. There is a Patreon live stream on my channel, which is for the Stefan's Darlings, Stefan's Darlings tier and up, which is €5 and up. So okay, trying to get something up. If I can get something. Okay. Let me get your. Okay. Get your. Now that I mentioned Swedish and Norwegian and so forth, let's go. Naughty Swedish words. Okay. Okay. Bra. It just means good. Something is good, or does it does it taste good? Smakar det bra? Does it taste good? And fart. So sänkt farten. So sänkt farten for its speed. So even farthinder. So just dry. So it's something along the lines of slow down. And sex, it's in Swedish. It means both the act of sex, but it's also the number 6. Slutstation. Oh, slutstation is the end, like end station. I think in Swedish Finnish, there are 5% ish of Finns are native Swedish speakers, and I think that the Helsinki area the regional traffic system. I think they say what for trains, tram. I think trains, the local trains, the local trains, and the and the metro or the subway. I think they say instation, which is pretty much the same. It's the same thing as terminus. Fuck. Yeah. Uh, Compartments, subject or workers union is fuck. Cock. Yeah. But because Swedish cork is is the one making the juice and the sauce. Yeah. Puss. A little kiss. That kind of is kuss. Uh, for example, I may say to my partner who's a native Swedish speaker, I may say "ge mig kuss" or "ge mig puss." Yeah, cunt. Yeah, if you're sitting on the edge of quay, um, looking out over the Baltic Sea and old steamboats going to the archipelago, then you're sitting on a cunt. Don't fall off. Yeah, it's the edge of the pier, I think. So prick. If you get pricks all over your body, you need medical attention because it's prick is a spot in Swedish. Yeah, basically cunt. I yeah. There's a kantipala, a corner piece of something. The corner piece of something is kantipala in Finnish. So it's and there's actually a few words that I use in Finnish that many people don't understand where in the area where I live. I live in the Helsinki capital region. I live in Helsinki, which is a capital, the Finland's capital. It's on the south coast, but I'm from uh, 200 kilometers north from here, and my native dialect is different from is even classified as different in the dialect. The eastern and western, north and south dialects, and the dialect my native dialect qu- is quite different from the typical dialects spoken here in this area. So there are some words that people here don't understand, and sometimes I have to explain myself, explain what I meant. It may cause some, or it has caused some awkward misunderstandings. For example, my maternal cousins, my mom's side of family is from has lived here in the Helsinki area for two or three generations, and my cousins or my mom's uncles, her cousins on either side, they don't understand when I certain words come naturally from me, but they just don't understand it. They don't understand it, and they look at me like I'm crazy. They look at me like I'm crazy, and I have to explain myself, which is quite irritating at times. Anyway, I want to. Okay, beer corner. Hey, it's beer corner. Still just 3 views for my licorice porter video. I know that that particular video isn't maybe the best video I've ever made, but I think it's still worth watching. Uh, I've given you the links, and please go and subscribe. I'm still. Let's see how many subscribers. 105. Okay, two watching live. Fine. Okay, whatever. Okay, whatever. Um, today have been in the studio with me, Stefan and Morran, and I will see you. And yes, by the way, Monday, this week Monday, I promise that I will be starting a uh, debunking series on my channel on Mondays. However, I what slipped my mind is that I actually this coming Monday, which is September 26th, is the second anniversary of this channel. So then there will be a very special episode. So the debunking series won't start officially until in week and a half. In a week and a half from now, which is October 3rd. So there will be a special episode on my channel's second anniversary, which is because the 26th is today, to date, the exact second anniversary. That is the very first live show. I had my very first guest on that day, and that was Mr. Conspiracy Cats, now known as Culture Cats. So, Mr. Cats has been kind enough to lend his company to me twice, and I hope to see him on my channel again in sometime in the future. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows what the future holds? You know. Then, without further ado, um, I will see you on Monday.
Help! Let me out! Out! I want out! Now!